if the conspiracy comes here, pay attention to this very closely. It will probably come in its full vigor, and there will be a lot of vacant places among those who guide and direct not only this government, but also this church of ours. All right, brothers and sisters, this could very well get me deplatformed. Very well. I'm not joking. I have a very small channel. You guys know that. It's not, I don't have this big breakaway setup. However, that doesn't matter with the algorithm, and I need to be very careful, but I'm going to do this anyway. There is a conspiracy to overthrow this nation, very much so. I'm going to start off by reading a quote, and I have many quotes, and we can quote all day conspiracies, quotes by Ezra Taft Benson, J. Reuben Clark, every prophet that's ever been in this dispensation, many different apostles, and we've had hundreds of apostles. We only talk about the ones we know, but there are many, and there are many quotes about the overthrow of freedom. Antichrist, depending on the context, can mean a variety of things. President Brigham Young said, quote, "Every spirit that does not confess that God has sent Joseph Smith and revealed the everlasting gospel to and through him is of Antichrist, no matter whether it is found in a pulpit or on a throne." That was Discourses of Brigham Young, page 435. The Apostle Mark E. Peterson said, "Every force now corrupting America is a form of Antichrist. Criminality is Antichrist. Immorality is Antichrist." Do we not see that now, brothers and sisters? Drunkenness is Antichrist. Rioting, pillaging, and anarchy likewise are Antichrist. Robbery, assault, and murder are all Antichrist. Deception, duplicity, perjury, and covetousness are Antichrist. The distribution of pornographic material that corrupts the morals of young and old alike is Antichrist. And so is every other force destructive of the higher principles that have made America great. Close quote. And this was 1967, Conference Reports, October 1967. And I would like to add, and it was going on at that very time, human trafficking. And it's going on today. All of these things can be found in government, brothers and sisters. Government. These things. Now, to the meatiest of morsels, I'm going to this video right here. Chilling video from World Economic Forum head makes his plans clear. You guys have heard of the Rubin Report? Dave Rubin. Okay, so shout out to Dave Rubin, like he needs it from me, and the Blaze, of course. But let's play this. Let's get into this. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell for notifications, like this video, share this video, and comment, even if you just say hi. All right, here we go.
Speaking of things I can't unsee, I keep seeing these videos of Klaus Schwab from the World Economic Forum all over, mostly on Twitter, but all over the online world. You don't see them ever on mainstream media. And the World Economic Forum is basically this group, this globalist group that is putting leaders in all of our countries. Justin Trudeau was one of their young proteges. Here's a video from Klaus Schwab.
And that used to be conspiracy theory that some of these politicians were put in by globalists, elite globalists, multi-billionaires, trillionaires. You're hearing it from some of the most reputable people that frequent the world of journalism. It's real, brothers and sisters. The Antichrist is here.
At the World Economic Forum.
Waves of lockdowns and the stresses of finding work or returning to workplaces have even amplified the existential and often silent mental health crisis. So, what should you do? You are calling for the international community to safeguard vaccine equity, to respond to COVID-19 and prevent future health crises. Nobody will be safe if not everybody is vaccinated.
Sarah, the reason I wanted to throw this, that was a threat. That was exactly my point. And the reason I wanted to throw to this video after the Trudeau thing is, it seems to me that all these people have left. And I mean this, the Democrats, these World Economic, all they have left is that we need them because things are horrible. They're going to get worse. And they're also telling us they're the ones that are going to make it worse, in essence. I mean, it's extraordinary, isn't it?
It really is. It's also extraordinary that, you get called. I'm going to be really careful with my words here, Dave, for you, for the sake of your YouTube here.
Yes.
We have to be really careful on YouTube, whether you're a little guy like me or a big person like Dave Rubin. You have to. That's why you probably don't see a lot more courageous moves on my part when it comes to putting out real solid based on principles of righteousness and unveiling the doom and gloom that's real. It's real doom and gloom. You don't see it a lot because we're reluctant.
I'll state a fact here. Klaus Schwab wrote a book in 2020. It is called The Great Reset. You can look it up on Amazon.
Yep.
In which he laid out exactly what it would look like if you used a crisis like COVID-19, which is what he wrote about. These are all facts. And you used that crisis, that pandemic, to create a new world. No, I'll say a new global alliance. And the only way that they know that they can do that is by instilling fear in people. And at first, I think they found it to be a little bit easier than it is now because, people's loved ones were in the hospital, they were sick. We saw all of these videos coming out from China at the beginning of people literally dropping dead in the streets and nobody knew why. I mean, there was reason for some Americans to be alarmed and to be fearful. Now, all they have is this vaccine that, by the way, won't prevent you from getting sick or going to the hospital, but they're still going to threaten you that if you don't get it, you're going to be left behind. It's mind-boggling that they can't give this up. But as we know, once you get that power, you're not going to relinquish it. You're just going to continue to want more and more and more. It's just crazy to me that this is happening right under everyone's noses. And I'm still called a conspiracy theorist for saying they've literally laid out that they were going to do this, and now it's happening. Why is anyone shocked?
I know that's almost part of it, that it all happens. Those of us that are paying attention see it, and in some ways that makes other people think we're even crazy or something like that. Ezra, I should mention that we put on your lower third, journalist without air quotes, because it's so refreshing for me to be able to call someone an actual journalist. That is your special lower third for today. Nick, did you see this video earlier this week where the Biden administration official, who of course is a former BlackRock guy, was saying that if in essence we don't go to war with Ukraine and save the liberal world order, then everything's going to collapse? That's sort of directly connected to this, isn't it? This idea that we have to, go to these wars that we don't declare, and we have to pay more at the pump and everything else to save the liberal world order. Wouldn't that have been like an Alex Jones thing a couple of years back?
Right. these were conspiracy theories maybe 3 years ago, if that. And it's interesting because everything Antichrist that we think of, the epitome of it all, is wrapped up in this World Economic Forum. This is it. You want to know what's at the top? Yeah, you've got your elite families, but they're working through not just the they call it WEF, World Economic Forum, but also the United Nations, the European Union, and you've heard of it rhymes with Dorf chloros.
Right. They're saying the quiet parts out loud now. And what you're seeing is that even with the COVID stuff that's still going on in LA County, they're bringing back masks for indoors. You never are boosted enough. You know, the Screen Actors Guild Union has reinstituted masks on set at all time, and you have to be vaccinated and boosted in order to work. And what I think is that all of these people in these positions that have been put there, like Gavin Newsom, like Trudeau, their allegiance is not to their constituency. Mm-hmm. Their allegiance is not to their voters. Their allegiance is to this global liberal order that they all want to participate in, and they want to bring every nation under the sway of. And I know that sounds like a big sweeping pronouncement, but that's what I think is going on. Gavin Newsom really isn't in danger from his voters because they've changed the electoral system in California so that he really can't be removed by the voters. And that's why so many people like you and I, Dave, have gotten the heck out of California and gone to some place where at least your vote means something. Your vote doesn't mean anything in California because the politicians in California, like Newsom, don't have to be scared of what you think of what they do.
You know, you've seen that. I don't know, call it a meme or a poster the image of the puppet master, and he's got and he's dressed in a suit. He represents the elites, right? Families or forum or whatever at the top. And he's got another puppet on a string, right? Or no, he's got the guy, he's the ventriloquist with the puppet that he's controlling from the inside. That puppet has a marionette on a string. And then that marionette has another marionette on a string. It's interesting. In other words, puppet regime, that's an old term too. Brothers and sisters, you know, I don't like feeling like I can't speak my mind. And I think a lot of people, we've been conditioned for so long to feel like we can't speak truth. Not my truth, but truth. Look, this is really going on here. This is not a facade, and I believe this is Antichrist. I want to finish this up and then get to the quotes and explain some things here.
Don't worry, Nick. I'm not going to tell people where your underground bunker that you're reporting from right now is. But,
that's right. I'm the insurrection guy. I'm waiting for the FBI to come after me. It's like, why haven't they come and get me yet? It would make a great ending to the movie.
All right. Shout out to Reuben Report. Okay. So let me finish here. So we read what, so Bruce R. McConkie said that an Antichrist is an opponent of Christ. He is one who is in opposition to the true gospel, the true church, and the true plan of salvation. See 1 John chapter 2, verse 19, and 1 John chapter 4, verses 4 through 6. He is one who offers salvation to men. Pay attention to this. Salvation to men on some other terms than those laid down by Christ. If you see it happening, pay attention to Matthew. Read Matthew chapter 24 over and over again, and you'll understand who we're dealing with. And we're dealing with them right here. What we just saw, what we just experienced in that video. I will now read from 2 John. For many deceivers are entered into the world who confess not that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh. This is a deceiver and an antichrist. This is a deceiver and an antichrist. Look to yourselves that we lose not those things which we have wrought, but that we receive a full reward. Whosoever transgresseth and abideth not in the doctrine of Christ hath not God. He that abideth in the doctrine of Christ, he hath both the Father and the Son. If there come any unto you and bring not this doctrine, receive him not into your house, neither bid him Godspeed. For he that biddeth him Godspeed is partaker of his evil deeds. Wow. 2 John chapter 1, verses 7 through 11. Brigham Young, The Kingdom of God. This is Journal of Discourses, Volume 9, page 308. One excellent idea that was advanced this morning I will venture to carry out a little further. The time was when the test of a Christian was his confession of Christ. In the first epistle of John it is written, quote, Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Hereby know ye the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesseth that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is of God. And every spirit that confesseth not that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is not of God. And this is that spirit of Antichrist, whereof ye have heard that it should come, and even now already is it in the world. 1 John chapter 4, verses 1 through 3. This is J. Reuben Clark, Conference Report, page 80, April 1952. I voiced a warning. I'm all tongue-tied right now. I voiced a warning against what we then knew as Bolshevism and socialism. Okay, remember what was going on. If you know your history of Russia, you'll know what Bolshevism is. And what we now know as communism. I thought I saw it coming, and it came, and there is nothing that we should not do to preserve this country and its liberties and its free institutions. If the conspiracy comes here, pay attention to this very closely, it will probably come in its full vigor, and there will be a lot of vacant places among those who guide and direct not only this government, but also this church of ours. Let me read that again. That was an apostle of Jesus Christ. If the conspiracy comes here, it will probably come in its full vigor, and there will be a lot of vacant places among those who guide and direct not only this government, but also this church of ours. And that's it.